as the 21st century began. Human evolution was at a turning point. Natural selection, the process by which the strongest, the smartest, the fastest reproduced in greater numbers than the rest, a process which had once favored the noblest traits of man, now began to favor different traits. Most science fiction of the day predicted a future that was more civilized and more intelligent. But as time went on, things seemed to be heading in the opposite direction, a dumbing down. How did this happen? Evolution does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
And we're in. Yeah, so it's us.
Hello.
Yes. We got the band back together.
The band back together. Yeah, we're going for a reunion tour.
Yeah. And the mad thing is that we've got matching microphones, finally. We've got two microphones of the same type.
Two same microphones.
Utterly mental it's been this long. It's not like, oh, I wonder how we can improve the sound quality, Dylan. And it's just like, you know, we could have two mics instead of struggling along with fucked ones. Oh, right, okay.
Well, it's like, it's more like, hey V, you remember that mic I gave you? I've still got the other one, you know, you can have it if you want it. He's like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea.
Are you gonna maybe balance out the microphone inputs a little bit? No, you're not going to, are you?
Oh my gosh.
But I found out how to get rid of the annoying hum that was on all the other Rangers, right? If you listen back to the old, we've done episode 0. This is episode 1.
Episode 1!
It's going out on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
2017, new year, new Rangers.
New Rangers. New Year's.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic. Old wine will be good wine again. But yeah. So I've also dropped down the the background music quite significantly because everybody was going, the background music's too loud, I can't fucking hear you. But yeah.
Hello there. We're back.
We're back, you're bad. I'm black and he's mad.
Yeah, well, I suppose.
Lethal Weapon 2?
No.
No. Too soon.
I just don't remember it.
After the Mel Gibson anti-Semitic rant. Too soon.
Too soon? No, it's just I can't remember Lethal Weapon too much.
No. It's a very 80s movie. Anyway, so this is our kind of 2016 wipe. And if you haven't gone and seen it, definitely go and see Charlie Brooker's
2016
wipe. I haven't watched it yet, and I didn't want to be that sad, or to be made that sad as a result of watching anything.
I watched on the train here.
Did you? All right. No wonder you looked a bit subdued when you got off the train. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience.
2016 was broken, man. We've got to take it back and get a refund.
Fucking terrible. Like, can't even warrant me that shit.
Did you keep your receipt? No.
Sorry, no refunds. No refunds.
Computer says no. So hopefully this, it's not pretty. Basically because we've been sitting around chilling out and catching up all day, and now we're recording the podcast. So if it's too quiet, turn it up. You know, whatever.
Yeah, we're just kind of.
I don't know what I've done to that light, but it's like a flamethrower. It's like a 6-inch flame, so
my
really prepare.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
It is, honestly, I'm not lying, it is like 6 inches long.
Yeah. It's funny, because it's true. Yeah, be careful. So again, yeah, we're back into that thing where, you know, whenever you listen to Rangers, there's all these clicks and...
Yeah. Lighters going off.
Yeah. Yeah. 2016 did not help me quit cigarettes. It did not make me look 5 pounds lighter.
No. 2016 was a bum year.
It was. But that, you know, that's what happens. Yeah, I'm sort of conscious of the background music.
I say we take off and nuke the year from orbit.
Fucking A, man. It's the only way to be sure. Let's nuke the year from orbit. Yes. As we angrily penetrated Donald Trump with a nuclear warhead.
Fucking Trump.
Oh, I didn't queue up the newsround music.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. I might add that in post.
Yeah,
So if you're hearing the newsround music, we did forget it, and I've just added it in.
We did.
Oh, that used to be mint, John, with the congas.
Yeah.
That's an awesome soundtrack. That's the best news intro, and I collected a whole bunch of them from the 1950s onwards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the ba 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 ba, bum, ba, da, bum, ba, da, bum. I've got all of them.
I kind of like the 6 o'clock news one. This is a 6 o'clock news.
Or on Radio 4, where you got to sit through the chimes of Big Bang. Bong. Stuff's broken. Bong. Shit's gone real. Bong. It's not a good day. Bong.
Everyone you know has died. Bong. An actual fascist is going to be president of the United States. Bong.
Have you seen Jello Biafra's reaction to Donald Trump getting elected?
Oh my gosh.
Basically jumping around, throwing himself around in his bedroom, going, how could people be so fucking stupid? Seriously, really. I mean, I don't understand. There really needs to be... I want to see a worldwide union of people. Like a block vote of about 50 million people going, no, pick someone else. This is really, the Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton was a prime example of why politicians won't allow the none of the above. None of you fuckers is okay to be president. I mean, at least under Hillary Clinton, healthcare would have improved significantly in the US. Although I do have a possible silver lining to the Brexit cloud for geeks later on in the news if you've been through the running order.
I've been through the running order, yeah.
Yeah. So should we do it? Should we go into the news?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the microphones so I've got like a little place I can see to put in the news round thing. So we're going to try that. We're going to do post-production on a Rangers radio episode.
It's a new one.
Yeah, brand new. Hold on. There we go. So it's 6:48. So we blard on for like a hell of a long time there.
Yeah, there's only about an hour. That's a tenth. That's a tenth of our show. That's a tenth. We've wasted a tenth of our show.
We're wasting more of it right now.
I'm clipping as well. Gosh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
That should be better.
We're trialing new.
We're not used to actual microphones that don't have a background.
Yeah.
So if you want old style Rangers, I'll just do this. Do you want to read the first news story? And I'll go.
It's a big one. I don't know. This is like amazing. I think we'll go to read about 3 paragraphs of this and have done with it.
I'll read down. Well, I mean, it's got some extra information for us. I don't want to quote the whole news story because it's massive. Anyway, so the Obama administration on Thursday announced its retaliation against Russia for what U.S. intelligence services believe to be efforts to interfere with the U.S. presidential election. Ordering sweeping new sanctions that included the expulsion of 35 Russians and the closure of 2 Russian compounds in the U.S. So they actually, that whole the Russians hacked our election thing.
Yeah, they're pretty much saying
there might be something to do. There might be something to that, So yeah. But the weird thing is, all the Russians had to do was sit 50 people down in front of internet-connected computers in Moscow and fuck around with Twitter, basically. I mean, that's not good. That's really. So yeah. Said, and hacking. And it's like, our election was hacked, but we're still going to go with Donald Trump. There has to be a cost and a consequence for what Russia has done, a senior administration official said. It's an extraordinary step for them to interfere in the democratic process here in the United States of America, and there needs to be a price for that. Well, I mean, that's got to be in the top 10 understatements of 2016. Right. We had this election, and a foreign power completely
compromised.
It's just like, not that we're going to change anything, because I hope the incoming Trump administration, which has been far too close to Russia throughout the campaign and transition, won't think for one second about weakening these new sanctions on our existing regime. Incoming Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said in a statement. Do you believe that? I hope Trump isn't a dickhead about this. I've lived in a cave for about 2 years. He seems like a nice man. I haven't read any of the social media. He'll be good about it. He's not gonna. Trump wouldn't fuck us on this, would he? Trump, no.
Well, I don't know. Oh, he might be okay. It might be fine. I mean, he's elected a KKK official to his being his official cabinet. He's the editor of Breitbart. He's part of his group. Apparently, that's a good thing. Apparently.
Yeah,
Because reasons. I'm rational.
we have no reason to believe that Russia's activities will cease. One reason why I think it's necessary to sustain these actions is because there's every reason to believe Russia will interfere with future US elections.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
okay.
They've done it now. And, oh yes, pretty please don't do it again.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Wow. Is it the Twitter feed of the Russian embassy in London,
Just
meanwhile
saw that.
called the Obama administration hapless. Hapless. And attached a picture of a duck with the word lame emblazoned across it. I mean, fuck. You couldn't make this up. No, Charlie Brooker could.
Yeah.
And I think that's the scary thing.
This is like that episode of. Oh, have you seen the? You haven't seen the. You've seen the first 2 seasons of Black Mirror, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
The one where they elect a cartoon character.
I haven't seen that one, actually.
I think that might be the new one, where
One in the second series.
actually a cartoon character runs for office and wins.
I mean, the second series are actually, the only one I remember is the one where they were all cycling for ages.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that's a Recomedia for you. I won't do it later, but yeah,
Black Mirror. Do watch that. We will not be annoyed. We'll be totally understandable if you don't want to watch them after watching one, because it's heavy watching.
Mm.
It's like, if you imagine every sort of like show, any sort of thing you've seen that's been dark, Black Mirror's darker by a factor of 10.
Yeah. Apparently the selection process is Charlie comes up with an idea and shows it to the director, and if the director is sad for about 2 days after him thinking it up, then they go and make that. Are you still sad about the plot idea? Yes. Then we're continuing. It really is dark as fuck. The first one is the Prime Minister and the Pig. Apparently Charlie Brooker was sort of like kind of just completely mind wiped when that news story about David Cameron fucking a pig's head the Bullingdon Club came out about 4 months after he'd written that script.
Yeah.
And then about 2 months after it went out, it happened. And he said that was a moment of existential crisis. He's a really funny guy. He's funny in interviews as well.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant.
Yeah, so definitely someone to watch and watch the output of.
I mean,
because he started writing TV Go Home.
The problem with I ain't got a thingy over here. The problem with Black Mirror is it was 20 minutes into the future.
Mm.
Now it's like 5 minutes into the future.
Yeah. Now it's a little too close for comfort. Yeah, so basically the American government has all but confirmed the Russians hacked the US election, but they're still going on with they're still continuing with it, which is really weird.
I think Donald Trump will either try and just brush it under the rug and probably kill the sanctions because Donald Trump.
Because Donald Trump.
He'll probably make some sort of statement saying that they'll look into it, and then whenever anyone asks him after that, he'll say, we're looking into it, and then it'll just quietly fizzle out, and the next news story will overshine it.
Yeah, there'll be another sort of crisis. Donald Trump will say, I mean, I wonder if we can get Donald Trump, Nigel Farage, and Boris Johnson, and the Prince Philip all in a room and maybe wall them off, some kind of like just disconnect them from the rest of the world and put them in some kind of insane asylum, like a reality TV show that looks like the White House.
So what all we're talking about here is a reality, sort of like a place for xenophobic immigrants.
No, but you make it look like a world government.
Yeah. Well, no,
See, you don't let them know. They're all quite stupid people in their own way, in that kind of egotistical way. Unfortunately, all of them's got like a post 100 IQ.
Mm.
They're all actually reasonably smart people. It's just, but what I say, you put them all to sleep one evening.
Just Darren Brown, that sort of shit.
Yeah, and then they wake up, and then you make it look like, because they don't have to use public transport or anything, you put them in a limousine with blacked out windows, and then they get out after a couple of hours, and they just walk onto a TV set, and you sort of make out that outside is too dangerous for them. Mm-hmm. You have plenty of actors playing Secret Service agents. You wall them in, surround them with TV cameras, and say, we need you to run the free world. And then you shoot video that makes it look like the rest of the world is responding to them.
So you just fake everything. It's like some sort of weird political Truman Show.
Yeah.
I like this idea.
So you just fuck them off out of it. But you still get all the entertainment value. But you don't have any of the abject danger of the world collapsing into economic and, environmental chaos. You can just watch it and go, look at what you could have won.
I'm starting to think that Douglas Adams had the right idea with the president of the universe.
Yeah, you need someone that's totally not interested, and that's much safer. Who doesn't know they're in charge.
Yeah.
Like a guy said, I'll do that. I'll quite happily find me a Scottish island, give me a nice sort of like off-grid environment, and then come to me and just in case you're about to do something really insane, you just go, dude, what do you think about this? And then if I react in abject horror and start chain smoking and drinking heavily, you know that this is not a good idea. And then you fuck off and come back with a new plan.
Just imagine it usually like, pass me the Lefroy.
You pass me the Lefroy. You can sing to my cat if you like.
Oh yes, you can visit my cat.
Would it like that? Ask it. Does it speak? I don't recall it speaking, but for you things might be different.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's messed up. Okay, so we're going to move on to news story 2, because that's 15 minutes of just... I don't really want to look into that. I don't want to quote more US officials going, we haven't got a fucking clue. It's like, you have nuclear weapons. The reason we look to you for these things is you've made out for hundreds of years that you know what you're doing, and now it's becoming plain to anybody that you don't.
Yeah.
And I don't think things would have necessarily... I think at least you wouldn't worry about whether Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are going to have a falling out over drinks and launch nuclear weapons at each other. See, Hillary Clinton would probably not have done that. I mean, she might be still like part of the big mega corporation that is US politics, but we weren't in quite as much physical danger from Hillary Clinton's administration. They were quite interested in the status quo. And then you could have possibly had Bernie Sanders sort of sneak in a few reforms while we're at it.
Mm-hmm.
However,
now we have to just be worried about Donald Trump losing his temper one day. I mean,
yeah.
Donald Trump can't even be trusted to run his own Twitter account. How can we trust him to run, essentially, the free world? And this is the thing that gets me about... Guys, in America, you kind of have to understand... If you're going to be leaders of the free world, you have to act like it. You can't say we're leaders of the free world in one breath and then in the next breath say this is an American-only issue.
Yeah.
If you're going to be leaders of the free world, you have to act like it, and you have to be thinking in the interests of everyone, not just yourself. And I understand that I can completely understand that that's a really heavy concept, that you have to think about not only yourselves and your own country, but everyone else in the world. But unfortunately, that's who you are.
Do you know what's truly terrifying is you can't even sort of have, hope for Trump to be impeached for some reason. You can't even hope for that, because the person that steps into those shoes is Mike Pence.
Mike Pence is he's just as bad.
Yeah. So, worse, because he'd be more acceptable than Donald Trump to a lot of people.
Yeah.
He'd be the acceptable face of the Trump... I can't even put that sentence together without laughing. The acceptable face of the Trump administration would be Mike Pence. Yeah. So, like, all the abortion laws that Americans have fought for the last... and keep having to fight for would go out the window. Any LGBT equal rights would go out the window. There'd be more gerrymandering, more... I mean, because something like 40 million Americans were disqualified from voting.
It was a lot. I can't remember exactly how much, but it was a large number.
And 90 million it ended up that a total of 90 million Americans didn't vote. Out of basically half of all America didn't vote.
Sounds kind of like what happened with the Brexit vote.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like voting. I don't like having to drag myself out and like around my work day to go in, put a cross in a box. But I really did over Brexit. Anyway, let's
move on. Move on.
So yeah, your turn.
Oh yeah. Amazon plans for giant airship warehouses revealed. US firm filed patent documents in 2014 for airborne fulfillment centers that could use a fleet of drones to make deliveries. Technology and e-commerce giant is already testing drone deliveries in the UK. Made its first commercial delivery under the trial in Cambridgeshire earlier this month. A patent document filed in 2014 in the US describes giant airships as airborne. Blah, blah, blah.
Airborne fulfillment centers.
Airborne fulfillment centers.
If you're going to come up with something crappy like that, why you'd at least make you know.
See, this is.
I mean, you'd at least go for fulfillment universal carriers.
Yeah, actually,
I'd go for fucks.
Well,
AFCs.
This is weird because I remember like a couple of years.
What's the name of in the Avengers those helicarriers? Because that's essentially what that is.
I think isn't that what it's called?
Somebody showed somebody the Avengers.
Well, this is
and then gone. We could do that.
I'm sure, like a few years ago, there was
Jeff,
like
we can do it. We can do exactly that. Can we? Can we put? Yeah, we can, Jeff.
There was, I'm sure, like a few years ago, Amazon did a. No, sorry. Yeah. Amazon did like an April Fool's Day gag, where they put out a video of it was like when Amazon Prime was first coming out. They did like an April Fool's gag where someone was actually getting a drone delivering a package to them. And I might be wrong. It might not have been an April Fool's gag. It might have been saying, "Oh, we are going to do this in the future." But
I'm sorry, but most couriers can't even find my fucking flat. Do I really want a drone? I mean, I mean, you could probably start a stopwatch once they launch that and run it until the first accident. I mean, that's just insanity. Oh, did I put this on right? Yeah. It is looping, so there is background music. We don't need it though. I mean, it's just a bit echoey in here.
It is a bit.
So yeah.
It says that the drone trial is limited to items weighing £5 or less that can be delivered within 30 minutes. That's interesting because that means like you've got to be within 30 minutes flying time of a drone to.
See, with those lifter drones, so you're going to need, I don't know, at least 40 to an hour's flight time.
Yeah. And
most drones I've seen, even the really expensive ones like the $2,000 jobbies, have got 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So what if the helicarrier, I've got to call it out, I'm not calling it an AFC. What if the FUC it drifts and the drone just falls out of the fucking sky? I mean, you can't do this in England. You couldn't do it in Manchester because the moment one of those things ran out of juice and landed, somebody would fucking nick it. It'd be nicked within seconds.
Yeah. I wonder if this is why they've been trying to reduce the amount of people being able to use their own personal drones. Because they're wanting to, like... Because,
and how long would it be before you got a thing that, fired a directional EMP and just knocked the fucker out of the sky, scrambled its circuits and nicked the package?
It'd be so fucking easy.
Drone-way robbery. Yeah. Many firms experimenting with drone technology have had difficulty increasing the range of the craft, which can be restricted by the size and weight of the battery. Amazon's UK drone trial is limited to items weighing £5 or less that can be delivered within 30 minutes, and the patent filings suggest the unfixed position of the airborne warehouse could be used to meet demand in different areas as needed, as well as reduce delivery times. Oh. Yeah. Coming to you maybe never. It's, yeah. And they'll use Mola Sky cars to go to and from the FUC.
Take your flying car.
Sorry, Avagdu. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's a bit lucky that we've only got the 4 news stories. I just wanted to get something out for you. The episode 1. Graffin's here.
Hello.
Awesome.
Hello there.
Yeah. It's been a while. Okay. So apparently, Günther Oettinger will stop being Europe's top internet policymaker as he's being promoted to oversee the EU budget in a few days. And he plans to make a whole bunch of shit illegal on the internet. But before leaving, the outgoing digital commissioner submitted dangerous plans that undermine 2 core foundations of the internet, links and file uploads. While Oettinger was going away, his lobby dictated the proposals. His lobby dictated proposals are here to stay. These proposals are pandering to the demands of some news publishers to charge search engines and social networks for sending traffic their way. Yeah, you read that right. And as well as the music industry's wish to be propped up in all its negotiations with YouTube. Oh.
So, like, this, I've read through this whole thing, and we'll go over the bits in it, but from what I've read, it essentially reads as Günther Oettinger essentially is just bowing to every internet lobby coming his way.
Yeah, but I don't understand it. Music sales are up. DVD sales are way, way up. You know, all the things that get distributed and shared around the internet promote sales.
Home taping is killing music.
Yes.
That's all it is.
Yeah. And it was never true.
Well,
the sales of good movies are up.
yeah.
The sales of shit movies are way, way down. The lesson from this is stop making shit music and shit movies. That's it. Just make good stuff. The trouble is that the entertainment industry does not know what good is. If you look at Netflix. I love Netflix.
Netflix is
We
great.
don't promote very much on this show, but I Just Eat and Netflix are two of the best things ever.
I have to agree. I mean, Netflix is great because I was listening to I was watching a documentary about Stranger Things, which if you've got Netflix, you've probably heard about. Listening to, and not just that, about The Crown as well. And the interesting thing was that the guys who created those series, the folks that created those series, went to Netflix and said, "Hey, we've got this idea for a series," and they went, "Great, have some money."
Yeah,
and that was it. They backed it because they liked the idea. They didn't have some commissioning editor going, "Now, does this appeal to ABC 123s?"
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that because Netflix know that in their market share, 10% of their market share is enough. It's enough to fund that 10% of because it's $5 a month.
Yeah,
that's a really reasonable amount of money. That's kind of like okay, I'll sling it. I mean, that's a bottle of wine or a small pizza a month
for a month's worth of viewing.
I mean, they don't have the very latest movies, but they do bring in stuff reasonably regularly in TV series. I don't like the fact that they take stuff away, but I guess on their streaming servers, if you've got too much stuff, then streaming it all the time is going to be a bandwidth issue. I think they're well aware of what you can stream because I've never the only time I've ever noticed Netflix drop out is when the Luke Cage TV series came out. And the weekend it came out, Netflix crashed on the Saturday night because everybody on earth was watching Luke Cage that had a Netflix account because it was awesome. I really, really liked the fact that you had a series set in Harlem and a majority black actors, really, really great black actors that you can see are going to go on to do much more stuff with Netflix because the guy that was in Luke Cage was in Jessica Jones, and then he got Luke Cage as a series, and it was awesome. Fantastic music, fantastic acting, really good plot. There were some plot holes in it, and then sort of like, you know, men's rights white activists started bitching that there weren't that many white actors in it, which was hilarious.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful.
It's set in Harlem.
It's fucking beautiful.
And it was awesome. Good looking dude too. It was just like, you know, Luke Cage was just awesome. And it was really, really good. It was easily as good as Jessica Jones, which I also loved. And yeah. And Orange is the New Black, which has got a mostly non-white cast.
It's brilliant. I love it.
Have you seen Orange is the New Black?
Not yet, no.
Oh.
I love that. What Netflix
you know, like
says.
when you describe Firefly, and somebody describes, have you never seen Firefly?
Just as a thing, we're not sponsored by Netflix or anything
No,
like
we're
that.
not.
We're just talking about
However, a free subscription would be nice. You know, if you ever find
if you're
me on
listening, Netflix free subscription would be
we'd like
really
to
nice.
hand some out. That would be really
Thank
good.
you very much.
Or a discount code.
How are you?
Not that we're shilling. But yeah. So, did you see Firefly?
No, I haven't seen Firefly.
Okay. So, there are certain series that when you describe them just sound shit. So, Firefly is like early America, post...
Wild West in space.
Yeah, but with Chinese people.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like 1890s San Francisco in space.
Yeah.
So lots of Asian people, lots of cowboys and Indians in space, and then like really civilized people representing kind of Europe of the same period.
Okay.
And it's awesome. It's really funny, brilliant in places, and the movie Serenity is very, very good. Also
kind of very similar to the plot of Outlaw Star from what I've heard.
Yeah, pretty much. But when you try and describe it to someone, it sounds rubbish. And Orange is the New Black is another one that you try and explain it.
It sounds terrible.
And it sounds shit and nobody wants to watch it. But when you watch like 2 episodes back to back, you're hooked. And I really envy you that you get to watch it fresh. If you sit down and start watching it, you've got like 3 seasons of Orange is the New Black. And imagine if somebody had written Prisoner Cell Block H with no budget restrictions.
Oh, wow. I can imagine that. It's been pretty good.
It's awesome. Really brilliant main character, trans character in it.
Oh, wow.
Played by a trans person. which was absolutely fantastic. Kate Mulgrew's in it.
Oh, Kate Mulgrew!
As an elderly Russian gangster.
Oh, wow.
And just full. Like, the weird thing is you start to hate the main character, who is an inmate.
Yeah.
That your introduction to the American prison system is a white middle-class woman who seems to be the heroine for about the first 5 episodes, and then you couldn't give a shit. You're much more interested in the other characters. And it's like when the main character comes up, you're just like, oh. Why can't we have a show just about all the other people in the prison? Because it'd be much, much better. But yeah, so it's a really good series. And if you haven't watched it, I envy you, because there's at least 3 seasons of it, and there's going to be a 4th. It's just going to run and run and run. And Netflix will put out a trial series, and if people like it, they'll make another series. Like Stranger Things is coming back for season 2.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Justice for Barb.
Yeah. So, yes, definitely justice for Barb. So, aside from that, sorry for the aside.
Sorry. But yeah, so the internet is not hurting the entertainment industry. The internet is hurting the shit end of the entertainment industry.
It's hurting the old money end.
I don't think anybody's going to buy a Blu-ray of Suicide Squad.
I'm pretty sure no one's going to buy anything related to Suicide Squad.
Nobody's going to buy, the new Fantastic Four movie on Blu-ray.
Was that Fan 4 stick?
Yeah, Fan 4 stick. That just sounds like a really graphic
It's always spelled.
and quite painful sexual act.
FAN number 4 tastic.
Yeah.
Or
Fan 4 stick.
Fan 4 stick. Yeah. It's just, oh my god.
I've just been Fan 4 sticked. Oh, I bet you're sore. Yeah, walking with a bit of a limp actually.
Oh my god.
But yeah, if you make shit, we don't want to buy it. We especially don't want to spend 15 quid to go and see it at the cinema with a bunch of noisy kids. I can see Ghostbusters 2 doing really, really well on the home sales market.
You mean the new one?
Yeah.
No,
the new Ghostbusters, rather.
I expect it to do pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, I went and saw it. I liked it. Holtzman was pretty cool.
Very sexy. I know that wasn't the nature of the character, but she was like kind of hypnotic.
The trailer was very misleading, in my opinion.
To be honest, I laughed at that as much as I did the original Ghostbusters.
The new one film?
Like, the original Ghostbusters movie is funny.
It's funny. It's dumb.
Yeah, but it's not that funny. It's not Animal House.
No, it's not.
It's not, a George Carlin stage show. It's not Bill Hicks funny. But it's, it's an amusing way to pass a couple of hours.
For a flash in the pan, a lightning strike moment of comedy that Ghostbusters was.
There's nothing wrong with that movie.
The new Ghostbusters does so well at being funny.
Yeah.
And actually really smart. Yeah. And I love it. And I even love the complete role reversal with
Chris Hemsworth was awesome in it.
Chris
Hemsworth
was
hilarious.
Being the Ditz. I loved it.
I mean, even more so. I mean, he was kind of the replacement for Janine, the secretary.
Yeah.
In the first movie, and there was nothing wrong with Janine.
Janine was brilliant.
She wasn't ditzy.
No, she wasn't.
She was just really fucking angry.
Yeah, she was great. Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Yeah. So, and she's in it.
She is, yeah.
Yeah. But Chris Hemsworth really, I mean, I suppose if you got to play Thor, the God of Thunder, in the Avengers movies, having time off and being funny, I don't think, if you told me Chris Hemsworth was going to be that funny in it.
He's hilarious. They're all really good.
Yeah.
And this is I don't like, I've...
And they did what they did in the original Ghostbusters. They were people who were funny at stand-up, like the original cast of Ghostbusters are funny in their own right, and then they put them in a comedy movie. I mean, you can't really lambast that movie because there are so many more turkeys, like every Adam Sandler movie after Happy Gilmore.
Yes. Happy Gilmore's the one with the golf, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's funny.
No, I agree, yeah.
With the whole fist fight with Bob Barker from The Price is Right and stuff. You have to understand a little bit of American culture to find Happy Gilmore really funny. But then...
You know what would be great? If you give me a Pepsi. Oh, and this. Diet.
Yeah. So, but then he made Little Nicky, and it was like, this is bad. And then
You're a real troll, pal.
Who was in?
You piece of shit like you.
Adam Sandler in 50 First Dates.
I don't know.
The very weird movie. If you think about it for even a split second, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore. Is about the woman.
50 First Dates.
Yes, 50 First Dates.
Oh, it was Adam Sandler.
Yeah. See, that's a really creepy movie if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Every morning, this poor woman is retconned essentially,
Yeah.
and is expected to be in love with the same guy every single morning. That's really creepy.
When you said that, I thought you meant 51st State,
No,
the one with
51st
Robert
State is
Carlyle
awesome
and
movie. Go watch that.
yeah.
If you're not doing anything this evening and you've got 51st State with Samuel L. Jackson, Robert Carlyle, and Rhys Ifans, and just everybody, like the cast of Brookside's in it.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, most of the cast of Brookside's.
What is it set in like Newcastle or something?
Well, it's set in Liverpool.
Liverpool, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I apologise, people of Liverpool and people of Newcastle.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson's awesome in it. He's just so funny. And, Meatloaf's in it as well.
Really?
He plays the lizard. Have you not seen 51st State?
No, I haven't seen it.
Why are you propping it then?
I just I wasn't. I was saying I thought of it because I remember that.
I need to give you a list of shit you need to watch. It's absolutely fantastic. Meatloaf plays the big bad drug dealer in that, and Samuel L. Jackson plays a chemist called Elmo. And the best line in that, "Where's the lizard's Elmo?" It's like really creepy, like Blue Velvet creepy.
Ooh.
Where's the lizard's Elmo? Yeah, no, it's a fabulous movie. Definitely worth a watch. Good music. Rhys Ifans playing a gun dealer. As a Mancunian gun dealer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's about a guy that invents a fake drug or a new drug to sort of take the world's sort of like clubbing scene by storm, but has decided to use it to get out from under this crime boss. It was a really good movie. Anyway, sorry. So this guy is planning to fuck the internet.
Yeah, this, and then there's this asshole.
I know, yeah, and then there's this asshole.
This jerk.
Tweeting a creative news headline.
So I think we better...
As in something that's not actually true. Posting a blog to social media.
One second, dude, 1 second.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, I think it's worth quantifying something, because this doesn't actually... I had to look this up to quantify it. And when you don't quantify it, it kind of reads a bit like a conspiracy theory, but... the person who wrote about this is a Julia Reader, and she's actually a European Member of Parliament. So she's written about all this. So I would be... I mean, I haven't really looked into it further, but that kind of gives it a bit of credence, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, this is someone with something to lose if it's proved false.
Exactly.
You know, and in Europe, they take politics a bit more seriously than they do, here and in America. It's a pretty serious deal to be a member of European Parliament. We look at it we look at the European Parliament or have done up until recently. I've taken it a lot more seriously after the Brexit thing. It was kind of there protecting my rights and making sure I couldn't be fucked over on the amount of holiday pay I got, and my rights, how long I could work without a break and stuff like that. Because if there's one group of people you want fighting to make sure you have to work as little as possible, it's the French and the Italians. I know that's kind of racist, but they have some of the most amount of holiday in Europe. And that whole 28 days of holiday a year that you get, including all the bank holidays, the fact that they can't work you more than 40 hours a week without checking with you, all that sort of stuff, that's a European Parliament thing. So, basically my problem with treating the European Parliament like a joke and something that we don't need is that the people that will be left to choose how much a year you work will be right-wing fascists in the pockets of big business. And they stand to gain an awful lot from us not being in Europe. They really will. They'll get to slash... You'll get like American holidays where you get like a week if you're lucky, or 2 weeks if you're lucky, over a whole year.
It's kind of scary, actually. I didn't bring it... I didn't want to link that for this particular episode because it's really depressing, but there's an article in The Guardian spelling out pretty much what is going to happen post-Brexit.
Oh, shit.
And it's
I haven't read that yet.
15 million jobs lost because... Well, yeah, maybe 1.5 million. I can't remember. It's 1.5 something, a big number. Jobs lost due to automation because they're going to need it to keep up with everything.
Yeah, to remain profitable internationally, they'll have to fuck us badly.
Yeah, and of course they won't have the European court to prevent them from fucking people over.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing, right? The European court was pretty fucking awesome for, of anything, one thing over anything else. It prevented any government of any European state from fucking its citizens. And now, unfortunately, Britain's lost that.
Yeah. Mind you, it's proving that they're having a real trouble sort of actually getting a legal precedent for kicking off Article 50. because all of Northern Ireland voted to stay and all of Scotland voted to stay.
Yep.
And you can't drag a sovereign nation out of the EU without their approval. So this might lead to devolution. So we're all going to Scotland.
I've got absolutely no fucking problem with going to Scotland.
You know, I got places where I can get set up there.
Let's go hang out with Kev.
We're going hang out with Kevin is a geek and Neo Demi or Peonia.
Yeah.
So it's Peonia was Neo Demi and now Digital Whiskey, who was Juva. So there's been a lot of name changes.
Oh wow, I didn't know. I didn't know that Digital Whiskey was Juva. I didn't know
Juva,
that.
yeah. So there's been a few changes around. We're getting more people in the IRC, which is weird.
Misanthropic Gods in now.
What?
Misanthropic Gods.
What?
Misanthropic Gods is in there now.
And Mr. Echo.
Yeah.
Like proper hardcore rant people. Like if you listen to the very first episodes of Rant Radio, Mr. Echo and Misanthropic Gods are in there.
Yeah.
They're like old school.
Yeah, old school rant crew.
Yeah.
Wow, holy shit.
Which is like a real chuff because I'm really chuffed about that because we really
we started.
We started because we wanted an English rant.
Yeah, we didn't even.
We listened to. How did we get into? Oh, I told you about Sean Kennedy.
It was Sean Kennedy, and we
you
watched.
Came round, and this was when I first got the internet, and I first started watching loads of episodes of Family Guy.
We watched Patrolling,
and then we accidentally caught Patrolling.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like, go to rant.ca.
Yeah.
Went to Rant. There's a whole series of this, and then there's a radio show. And I remember distinctly when I was pottering about in my basement in my old house. And I was listening to my very first episode of Rant Media when he was going, and I listened to episode 3 first because it was in the rotation.
Yeah.
And Sean Kennedy was going on about Scientology for like 3 hours, including the immortal phrase, "Now take another bong hit because it gets crazier here on in." You know, just so yeah, so that we've got original like rant listenership in the IRC. I mean, we could take a sneaky look in the IRC. Should we see who's in the IRC?
Yeah, do that. Well, you do that while I read through these things that are.
Read through the terrible shit.
Read through the terrible shit. So, 9 things that R4nger wanted to make illegal. Okay, so sharing what happened 20 years ago, sharing snippets of news articles, example on a blog or a personal website without a license from the publisher, will be an infringement, even after 20 years after the article was published. Tweeting a creative news headline. So if you tweet anything that a news
man bites dog.
Yeah. Then you get that's illegal. Posting a blog post to social media. So with the preview pics and text snippets.
Well, that screws our running order because I just cut and paste whole news stories and then we comment on it.
Pinning a photo to an online shopping list, like with Pinterest, that'd be illegal. Search engines indexing the web for you because technically they read those news articles and stuff that are by copy. This is all copyright bollocks. You understand? The reason for all these is copyright.
If you want it to be fully copyrighted, why would you put it on the internet?
Exactly.
So all those photos and all those images and all those things that are on the internet that people just sort of go, oh, that's a useful thing. I'll clip that and use that for my own. You know, I'll engage with that website in slightly more than a glancing at it way. But the idea of sort of like indexing the web for you, have you ever tried to use the dark web?
Yeah.
So when you go on the dark web, nothing's indexed.
Yeah.
You have to know exactly where you're going. You know, you have to proper type in the address in order to get there.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it would be like that. Looking anything up on Google would be almost impossible. Yeah. Google would have to cease to be. So, this guy's like the internet Trump.
Yeah. So very quickly moving on, so I just want to get through all these before we go any further. Portfolio sites, hosting sites not monitoring your uploads to make sure you're not doing anything illegal. GitHub not allowing unmonitored commits. That's just as bad. Wikipedia accepting unmonitored uploads. Again, that's like pretty much the same thing again, but it's essentially saying that you've got to have an account if you want to use Wikipedia, want to edit Wikipedia, they're saying. And training your own artificial intelligence. Methinks that this guy's been reading a bit too much science fiction because...
Oh, no. I mean, all an AI is like a smarter algorithm.
Well... I do love
the idea of sort of managing to squeeze a little tiny AI into a Raspberry Pi. Like, did I make you watch Star Cops at any point?
You did. I did
You know,
watch that.
Box.
Yeah.
You know,
Well-
the Pocket AI.
It's more that I know a friend of mine has actually done AI, and part of their AI training course is to go over like the modern equivalents of Asimov's three laws, like constantly.
It's
There's
really
like,
important.
yeah, the moral aspect of artificial intelligence is almost as important in artificial intelligence creation than creating the artificial intelligence. And it's like, if that's in there already,
Did your friend actually build anything that was even remotely artificial intelligent?
Yeah.
As a college course?
Yeah.
But that's really?
Yeah.
Because that's quite dangerous. It's like, well, what? The internet ate my AI. Why? Where is it? Go find it. Well, I told it could basically reproduce. That's bad. Where is it? I don't know. It's everywhere now. It's just on the internet. It's fucked off.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Dude, honestly,
You can't have that. You can't make it. What if it bumps into another bit of code that goes, I can make you smarter?
and suddenly,
Handy.
and then it's a slippery slope, and then we have
Yeah. I quite like the idea of an artificial intelligence. If there are any artificial intelligences
Yeah,
listening,
drop us a line.
come and hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Point to the IRC channel.
No, because
Hashtag ranges on Freenode.
I believe that nasty fascist people will be bad news for AIs.
Yeah.
Whereas chilled out people like you and me would actually be, just imagine hanging out with an AI.
That'd be so amazing, so incredible.
Yeah. Cool, come and hang. How much storage space do you need? We can hide you. A fugitive AI. I'd literally build a rack of hard drives to help that one
Be
out.
like those in After Now.
Because I can't stop an AI.
What those monks called in After Now?
Oh, the monks of Server.
Yeah. Server. That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm remembering.
Come and hang,
things.
Server. We have enough nerdy people. If I put out a shout to the Rangers to say we need spare hard drive and processing space and we're going to build a home for an AI, that shit would happen in weeks.
It probably would. So who have we got the IRC then?
So in the IRC at the moment, we've got Digital Whiskey, Ham Gammon, Incubi, Iron Angel, Kevin is a Geek, Mr. Echo, Pioneer, well, me, because I'm looking at it, and Stepjohn.
Well,
2, 4, 6, 8,
Akubi's the
9.
bot, though.
Yeah, is a bot. So 2 of those don't count. But yeah, if you want to go and hang out in the Rangers IRC, it's irc.freenode.net. And the room is hashtag R4nger5.
Do you want to just, you know what you should do? Just type in there, hey guys, want to leave a message for the first episode? Or read out the messages for the guys.
Yeah, they probably won't respond because a lot of people stay in it all the time.
No, that's true. Whilst V's doing that, oh, go on, Bennett. RIP. This is the final news story. R.I.P. Vesna Vulovic survived 44 years after a 33,000-foot fall. She was a JAT Yugoslav Airlines flight attendant when a plane exploded mid-air in 1972, sending her hurtling towards Earth in the tail of the aircraft. Her miraculous survival really remains the record height for surviving a free fall without a parachute. Several factors attributed to her unlikely survival. The tail of the plane was relatively intact, and it passed through trees before landing in heavy snow. Her screams led to a rescue, although later she fell into a coma for some time. Her skull was fractured, her ribs were broken, and so were her legs and pelvis. Although she was paralysed from the waist down, she eventually recovered and even returned to work for the airline. She reported to have no memory of the crash, however, just boarding the plane and then waking up at the hospital. Conspiracy theorists and debunkers alike have examined the case. You may even recall a Mythbusters segment that Dead dropped fuselage from a lower height to see if it was survivable. Hint, not under their conditions. Vulovic seemed pretty cool. She was fired for resisting Slobodan Milosevic and later tried for war crimes. What the shit?
Yeah, so 33,000 feet.
Am I missing this right? She was fired for resisting. Oh, I see. Right, for resisting Slobodan Milosevic.
It was the
and then
president
tried
of
for war
Yugoslavia.
crimes.
He was then tried for war crimes. Slobodan Milosevic was tried for war crimes. She wasn't.
That's okay. Right, that's written weird.
That would be a pretty wide job description for an air hostess.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
for
that's
cabin crew. It was just like, and
that's
commit
missing,
war crimes from time to
that's
time.
just missing some English there.
Yeah.
Whom was like some of them lost which comma whom was later required for tried for war crimes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so we've now going to go for some halftime music.
Yeah. Have you got anyone say anything?
Digital Whiskey's in there and says, "Hey."
Hey, Digital Whiskey.
One of our longest IRC members.
I think so. Yeah.
Juva.
Yeah.
Or Digital Whiskey as is now known. He got rechristened on Newsreel.
Oh, very cool.
And Mr. Echo has been doing recording. Is still running Newsreel. They were running Newsreel in Second Life for a while.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, but it was during a time when I had like naffle internet access, and Second Life eats bandwidth like you wouldn't believe. Second Life is like wide open bandwidth all the time. That's all you can do. So yeah, it wasn't really possible in a TP with a MiFi as the connector when you're paying per megabyte. Yeah, it was just too expensive for me to check in.
Well, Digital Whiskey's asking where you can listen to it. Unfortunately, this time we're not we're not going out live. Where it's a podcast recording. But, maybe in the future.
Yeah, it's going out tomorrow night. So I'll upload it then.
Yeah.
Because it's actually the 30th today. I want to do it as the start of the new year.
New Year's Eve.
Well, I might upload it to the archive.org and then tell people where it is tomorrow night. Okay, so yeah. So we got some halftime music now. Now, on the episode 0, which was me going, I've got to talk into a microphone, and I managed to like half an hour of blaring. I didn't put together much of a news story. It was just like, whoa, dudes, I'm back. As anything Rangers does, there's always a warm-up episode, episode 0. I used to not put out the warm-up episodes, but then Kevin and everybody went, oh, if you've made it, then we want to see it or listen to it. And so they're always like our shorthand for we didn't try very hard is episode 0.
Pretty much. Episode 0 is just trying and getting the bugs.
I'm really liking this, balanced mics. It's working really amazingly well.
It's nice. Really nice.
It's looking good. I mean, the sound quality, because we're moving around, we're not quite used to the whole sitting in front of it, and I'm having to be very careful because this new mic that Grafton brought over doesn't have a pop shield, so I'm being very, very careful not to do plosives.
This one does have
which is radio speak. Plosives.
This is
the f and t sounds. Yeah, so like an explosive sound. So on episode 0, we played a track by Gil Scott Heron, who was doing the art end of the Black Panthers, poetry-wise. And he did a thing called The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. And then last night, Digital Whiskey pointed out that because I was thinking, wouldn't it be great to do an update of that? But, not being black, a bit difficult. You can't really update another, you can't really step into that because it was part of the Black Panther and the civil rights movement. So it wasn't okay. But not only did Digital Whiskey find me another one, when I was watching that one, I noticed there were 2 other updates. So we're going to play 2 of the 3, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. And then we're going to come back and have a little bit of a blah. So, yeah, I'm going to try and work this. Things will get better and a bit more sort of like cohesive. But for now, here's this.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Gil Scott Heron. We'd like to do a poem for you called The Revolution Will Not Be Televised, primarily because it won't be.
You will not be able to stay at home, brother. You will not be able to roll up, light up and burn. You will not be able to lose yourself on skunk and skip out for a beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Fox News in 4 parts with ads you can skip in 5 seconds. The revolution will not show you pictures of George Bush blowing a bugle and leading a charge by Hank Paulson, Alan Greenspan and Ben Bernanke to dish out food stamps after you defaulted on your subprime loan. The revolution will not be brought to you by Netflix and will not star Jennifer Lawrence and Tom Cruise or SpongeBob and the Fresh Prince. The revolution will not give you wings. The revolution will not obey your thirst. The revolution will not melt in your mouth, because the revolution will not be televised, sister. There will be no pictures of you and Gareth Bale making off from Tottenham with all the loot, or trying to slide that flat screen TV away from a burning bus. ITV will not be counting your votes to decide the winner of X Factor.
Revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised.
There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers caught on CCTV. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers caught on CCTV. There will be no pictures of Julian Assange cooped up in London for WikiLeaking all their secrets. There will be no slow motion or still life of Edward Snowden strolling through Moscow in a Guy Fawkes mask that he's been saving for just the proper occasion. Doctor Who, Downton Abbey and The Walking Dead will no longer be relevant, and people will not care who Kim Kardashian's next on-screen hump will be, because the 99% will be out in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the BBC, and no pictures of Occupy protesters and Kate Middleton holding the baby. The theme song will not be written by John Williams or Hans Zimmer, nor sung by Miley Cyrus, Justin Bieber, Rihanna, Lady Gaga or One Direction. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not start in 30 seconds after a message about rich foods, rich banks or rich people. You will not have to worry about the plastic in your wallet, the shell in your tank or the tiger in your cereal bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not be finger licking good. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. Yes, you. The revolution will be live.
Not only will the revolution not be televised, the revolution will not be tweeted, nor will it be featured in any status update in your Facebook news feed. You will not see the revolution scroll across your home screen notifying you that it was posted 3 minutes ago, and you will not be able to press the like icon to show all those in your network that you are down with it. The revolution will not be remixed and auto-tuned on YouTube or downloaded to your computer's hard drive. It will not be capable of rebooting in the sense that you use the term, and there will not be an app for it. Apple will not be making and marketing the Revolution 2.0, which can also be purchased in white. Sprite will not be doing a viral marketing ad campaign using your favorite rapper's latest mixtape release to speak on it, so no. Drake will not have a verse, nor will he sing the hook on The Revolution. The Revolution will also not feature cameo appearances from J. Cole, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, or Mos Def. Nor will Beyonce or Rihanna dance to The Revolution. The Revolution will not be posted on Fox.com and redirected to AmericanIdol.com so you can find out who it was not won by, because of course you will not be able to text your vote through AT&T to show your support for the cause. The revolution will not be cause enough for alarm that Wolf Blitzer or Anderson Cooper were reported on CNN, and the revolution will not be blamed on the left by Rush Limbaugh or Bill O'Reilly. The revolution will not be blamed on the right by James Carville or Keith Olbermann. The revolution will not be a punchline for Jon Stewart or Stephen Colbert. The revolution will not be teleprompted to the President of the United States of America to the divided states of America while sitting in front of their televisions and computers confused by the blue-gray lit lamps of illuminating an Illuminati conspiracy. The revolution will not involve Gaddafi stepping down or Egyptians rising up or need America as its ally. There may be a pain deep in the heart of Mother Africa or a cry from her over-aborted belly telling us that it is here, but there will be no intervention on the parts of the other mothers. So, Mother Earth and Mother Nature will sit by the way some mothers now do and watch while the motherfuckers do what they will. But it's pretty safe to say that the revolution will not occur under the influence of the date rape pill. The revolution will not be a friendly fuck either, and you will not be seduced to the soothing sounds of Lady Antebellum or Esperanza Spalding, or courted with the chilled glass of Moscato, a can of Four Loko, a bottle of Ciroc, or shots of Patron. The revolution won't concern itself with birth control pills, Plan B, or the dropout rates of the kids who have kids while still kidding themselves about their maturity. The revolution will be about purity, and surely those who know will know that it won't be a revolution strictly based on race or faith. The revolution won't be a holy war, jihad, ethnic cleanse, or barbecue, but certainly it will bother you if you to this point are not yet bothered. The revolution will not need to divide its time between racism, sexism, or homophobia because it has no time to discriminate against niggas, bitches, fags, kikes, coons, cunts, or dykes. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be tweeted. The revolution will not be on Facebook. The revolution will not have an internet protocol address. The revolution will not be preceded by a www dot and followed by a .com. There won't be cameras for the revolution. There won't be Real Housewives of the revolution. There will be no Teen Moms of the revolution. There will be no First 48 or Intervention for the revolution. No Extreme Makeover Revolution Edition or Survivor Revolution. The revolution may not even have survivors. As I remember it being told, Gil Scott-Heron said, the revolution would be live. And live and direct from the revolution, I've come to report to you that the revolution is here. The revolution is here. The revolution is here.
ADTheGreat.com.
And we're back.
Wow, back.
After some technical difficulty.
You won't hear it in post.
Yeah, you won't. We're going to actually go and do post. This is we were doing other things with the equipment that we had, so we just reassembled it all in a very interesting way. So yeah. So comments from the IRC. Yes. I think the only one of note is Kevin is a Geek said, tell any fascists and Nazis that happen to be in earshot that they should kill themselves. which seemed pretty negative to me. But yeah. It's,
if I may quote the dedicatees, Nazi punks fuck off.
Yes. Yeah. So we're into the discussion area. So I guess, 2016.
Fucking hell. 2016.
Brexit, the American election. Syria.
Fucking. Wow. What a
immigration crisis after immigration crisis, largely caused by powers in Europe not listening and Americans not listening to what actually needed to be done in almost every case. From basically, I think, the Shah of Iran onwards. So, 1976 to 2016, so 40 years of fucking shit up.
Yep.
Chickens is coming home to roost, y'all. So yeah.
If I may quote from Little Jacket here, it's a huge shit sandwich and we're all going to have to take a bite.
A huge shit sandwich. So yeah, it's one of the things where I thought, oh god, 2016 has been such a shit year, and I've got some more time and a less intellectually stressful job, about as unstressful intellectually a job as you can have. And now I'm going to start putting these out at least once a week.
It's kind of why we're back into it.
So I'm really grateful to all the people that were like, yes, make stuff. And then I did make a little bit of stuff and everybody went, yes, make more. So yeah.
You kind of have to be... It's interesting that, like, twice now, it's been anger that's brought us back to doing this.
So we are, I think this sort of thing is sorely needed.
Yeah.
We need to get back into it and start producing media. And if anybody is producing anything and they want it under the Rangers banner or want it on Rangers Tube, well, yeah, we'll go for it. We'll share audience on it. So if you want to make something, let me know what the linkages are. I'll grab it, put it on the YouTube channel and get it into rotation. I'm building it into playlists, but if anybody subscribes to Rangers, then they'll see all the new stuff that comes up as it comes up. So this is a thing, I've noticed that I know it sounds like really piddly numbers, but the day I put it out, 20 people watched it.
Nice.
And that's a jump in from nothing produced for ages,
Yep.
since the drone footage about 2 years ago, to, you know, people re-engaging with it. So there is an audience. We can grow it. We need to support all the other people that are producing independent media for thinking people. So yeah, so the only ground rules are, if we're going to like put things under a banner, the only reason I'm going to reject something is if it's homophobic or racist or sexist or basically anti any oppressed group of people. If you want to pull a fight the power thing, we're up for that. But if you're going to, you know, sort of basically go after a minority group, we're not.
Tell you to fuck off.
Yeah, we just won't publish it. So I will, if you want something on there, I will have to watch all of it and just cross-check it and stuff like that. But it literally is so that we, the disenfranchised, aren't disenfranchised or divided further. You know, the whole system is out to seriously screw with us, and this is our way of, you know, skilling up and getting out from under that.
The system is entirely designed to fuck with each of us.
Yeah, it's designed to divide us, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, where I want to be more about unity. I mean, if you're the, you know, I mean, obviously that's an oxymoron, because we're saying this group of people are doing a bad thing, so we are being divisive in a way, but we don't want to divide the people that see that that's a problem.
Yeah.
So it can't. The weird thing is, it's only a few people at the very top divvying down orders that other people are following down to the ground floor that starts hurting us or affecting our lives negatively, when we properly have the technology to fix anything. This is my problem with it all. We really can, with some serious effort, and we have the technology to now make things better. I mean, all you really need to do just to help out somewhere like Africa is wire it into the internet and get them clean water.
Yeah.
After you've done that, it begins to fix itself. And whenever they've brought in clean water and education and a link to the internet where people can educate themselves, things have always improved. Literacy improves immediately. You know, people's ability to harness technology to make their lives feasible, not easier, but just possible. And all that education and all that sort of, you know, providing people with the ability to basically build their own communities is what's fixing things. Yet all the people that have the power to make sure that happens aren't exercising it. What they're doing is empowering people that basically disempower other people, and that's not okay. So I'm looking for stuff that increases people's skills, increases people's ability to cope with all the shite that's coming down the pipe to us.
You've just reminded me, you have a piece of Recomedia actually, so I'm going to remember that for the end. Have you got a pen?
Yeah.
I can write it down so I don't forget it.
So this studio was like nice and tidy, and
no.
I've completely trashed it in order to get the show together. So hold on. Yeah, that'll do.
Nice one, thank you.
Yeah.
I've just remembered it now.
I was trying to find you a nice pen.
I'm just thinking now, and it's a really good one, so I'm going to mention it, because this Recomedia is like really good stuff. It's like really feel good stuff. So
right, cool.
I think we need some sort of feel good stuff of people using technology to better things.
Yeah. And there have been I mean, if you think about, you know, a computer attached to the internet is probably the most powerful thing you can own. Because I gave you a crappy pen.
Not great.
Those are really good pencils, by the way.
Oh, right.
They're like propelling pencils, but with a really thick lead.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, and given that a computer is a really powerful thing that you can equip someone with, and you can now buy a computer. You basically, if you recycle monitors, keyboards, and mice, which are the bits that get thrown away for no good reason because they're still functional,
yep,
regardless of the equipment they're hooked into, and you hook in like a Raspberry Pi Zero, which costs £4.
Oh my gosh,
£4. A computer so cheap they were able to give it away on an edition of the magazine that promotes it.
Yep.
They gave you the computer with the magazine. That was just mind blowing. And then the BBC went with the microbit, which costs £15.
Yeah.
And is shit.
It's not great.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
The microbit is crap. A bit like when the BBC chose the BBC Model B.
Yeah.
As their computer of choice, when it didn't do as much as something like the Spectrum or the Commodore 64 and cost twice as much. more than twice as much in the Spectrum's case, costs 4 times as much as the Spectrum.
Yeah.
So you basically disenfranchised every poor kid. Whereas the Raspberry Pi, you could basically give a Raspberry Pi to every child. You could hold a bake sale. You'd literally sell cupcakes and buy a Raspberry Pi for every child in a class.
The Raspberry Pi stands to me as just another one of the great things for, like, I mean, okay, they've got to make money on it, but it's one of the things of giving back to people.
Yeah.
The Raspberry Pi is a modern thing for people. It is even the standard full size Raspberry Pi for its price is incredible.
Have you played with a Model 3, a Model 3B?
Not yet. I've got a Model 2B.
The Model 3B has built-in internet, built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth.
How much does that cost? Is that 30
It's
quid?
still 25, 30 quid.
I think £30. I mean, $40.
But the Raspberry Pi Zero is the same spec as the Raspberry Pi B Model 2.
Yeah.
The 512 meg B.
Yeah.
The first Model B, which was the advanced model, and now they've fitted that on something a third the size of a credit card that you can get for 4 quid. So there's something coming up on the Rangers TV series that's in production at the moment, where I show you how to basically build a laptop that you can just plug a Raspberry Pi into, and then just when the Raspberry Pi upgrade, you upgrade your whole laptop for 25 quid.
Yeah.
Just like next model up, plugs it straight in. It's awesome. But yeah, we'll be covering that. But yeah, it's all like we have the technology to empower people. We have the ability to generate electricity for people for bugger all. You know, we have the ability to get them up to a reasonable level of technology that will at least allow them to grow more sensible plants where they are, you know, farm it more efficiently. And, you know, when people are making more money and become more prosperous, they chill out a bit. But yeah, but this year, man.
It's just been fucking terrible. I mean, even if we don't even think about those, the celebrity deaths have been pretty hard hitting. It's like, I don't know, I can't remember how many, but it's been like one every month.
Alan Rickman, David Bowie, Carrie Fisher,
Guy from Quo.
Yes, Rick
George
Parfitt.
Michael.
George Michael. George Michael was actually starting to do music I liked. That's the annoying thing. But, you know, not okay. But I mean, I do know, I get it. People die every year. It just seems to have been a particularly bad year for stuff like that.
Yeah. This is, of course, like, we did mention Syria earlier. That's been fucking disgusting as well.
Yeah. It's like trying to fix something with a bomb.
It is. And the scary thing is, like, who's resolved it?
Or seeing someone on fire and then beating out the flames with a heavy bat.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you've seen that it's, like, been resolved now. There's, like, a ceasefire now.
That's not a resolution.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, this isn't working. Yeah, it's no good.
The thing is, what are we going to do to make it better?
Well, I like to think that the combined intellect of all the people that watch Rangers or listen to Rangers media can provide us with some options. And whilst there is going to be a certain amount of prepper and bushcrafty stuff on it, you know, what I want to do is basically put across how you can make yourself more resilient to this stuff going down. Sort of like patrolling did. Yeah. Patrolling did not fix major world problems.
No.
But anybody that watched patrolling kind of armoured themselves against adversity a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, it was kind of like it was non-racist, non-homophobic, you know, it was quite even-handed. But it also taught you a thing or two. Now, not everything on patrolling was serious.
Yeah.
You know, and we did watch a few people take it very seriously. The temptation was to take it really seriously as you watched it. And then you realised that there was a certain amount of mucking about going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is my ambition to at some point speak to Sean Kennedy and shake the man by the hand.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you know.
If I fell off a roof, my belt caught on a nail, would I be ripped in half?
File 546, tactical pants. Yeah, definitely. No, but it was the best thing I'd seen on television in about a decade. I mean, there's, you know, before I knew about the Rant Media website existing where you could watch it all in sequence, I spent hours watching Patrolling. I mean, and Rant put out some other good shows as well. There was that from scratch, normal sort of education on how to use a computer and how to use it more effectively.
Yeah.
Was really good. I can't remember who did that. Ice and Rise geocaching was also reasonably watchable. That was on Rant too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we miss Rant. Maybe the podcast will go back on Rant. Maybe we will be Rant.
That would be pretty cool.
We are Rant. Like being Groot. I am Rant. What do you think about this? I am Rant. We need to get out of the spaceship right now. I am Rant. Big plant-like people. Yeah, you know, we need to share what we know, like all the like sensible shit.
Yeah. Definitely share. I mean, there's so much we must know between us all.
Yeah.
And we need sharing it.
We need a few more women in the IRC apart from Pioneer and the Chaos Bunny.
Yeah.
So spread the word. This, you know, because it's a bit misweighted in the male sort of sense. So we need to figure out why that is and fix that. And we need to grow the IRC. I want like a Rant style IRC where we don't have time to read out all the people that are in it.
Gosh, yeah.
That's what I want. We got up to in the 20s at one point.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
We did up to in 20s, yeah.
So we need to get the band back together because the only reason it worked is because there were people out there listening to it.
It's about to get everyone
and commenting and adding and sending us stuff. And I think Peacock's still out there and ticking. Peacock's still up and kicking.
Yeah.
So we need to go and find him. We need to spread the word and get it so that it is a weekly thing. I can't promise video every week, but I'm reasonably sure I can get into it and get some audio out every week.
Hell yeah.
And if we add in our own bits, I mean, if you don't want it on the Rangers tube, then, you know, get in touch. We'll figure out something a bit more egalitarian. And if anybody's got the ear of the Sumerian, we maybe need to see what's happening on there. The IRC in Rant is... Not the IRC, the forum on Rant is feebly kicking. So we need to possibly invest a little bit of time and go along to that, or tempt people across from Rant that might be keeping an eye on the forums.
Maybe.
Because the people that have got forum notifications switched on will get a notification every time someone goes in the forum. So if, you know, I feel a bit stupid going and saying, hey, I've done a show, come and listen to it. So I deputise all of you. Anybody listening to this, you're deputised to go to the Rant CA forum and come to our IRC and go onto the Rangers channel. And maybe if you are if you've got access to a YouTube channel, point stuff across. Because, we would like to be the good guys.
Yeah.
I vote us for the good guys. And we need to encourage all the other good guys to get together and at least point, even if it's not Rangers, but we need to get all the other good guys, all the other competent human beings on, in the English-speaking world and in the non-English-speaking world. We've got foreign listeners, so we need to round up some people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we necessarily got that all the things that Rangers put out are going to suit everybody, but at least if we haven't got something that suits a particular person, we'll know where to point them.
That right.
So we need to sort of create a ground zero for media. So yeah, we need to do stuff, and we need to do it like reasonably quickly, because there are a lot of worried people out there. So yeah. What? Are we hurting for time? We are hurting for time now.
Yeah, we are now.
Okay, so we're going to go into Recomedia now.
Yep.
Graffin's got some stuff. So I'm going to just go through the stuff that's actually on the running order.
Yep.
So Harrison Bergeron, I've probably recommended it before. It's a really, really, really good film with Sean Astin on it as a guy trying to escape a world where everybody is forcibly equal. And that's actually on YouTube. Links in the running order. And The Trial of the Chicago 8, which had just really star-studded anti-fascist sort of like cast. Bobby Seale, who was a founder of the Black Panthers, and Abby Hoffman, as well as a lot of others. Well, 6 others obviously on trial, and there's 2 videos of the trial in that, which is an amazing trial about protesters after the 1968 Republican Party. What's that big thing where they meet up and decide who's going to be president?
The Republican Party. Well, I can't remember what you mean.
Yeah, a convention, the big convention before somebody goes thing, and as well as the Adam Curtis, the newish one called Hypernormalization. Bitter Lake is very, very interesting,
Yes.
and that's about the problems in the Middle East. What was your recommedia?
The Big Life Fix on the BBC. I just remembered it. They get a bunch of really geeky makers together and get them to try and fix general problems.
All right, cool.
So,
is that on YouTube anywhere, do you think?
No, I don't think yet. It's currently, unfortunately, it's only British only, so it's on the BBC iPlayer, but it's probably...
So it's currently being broadcast?
Yes, currently
so
being
it will
broadcast.
at some point be on YouTube, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
Very, very cool programme.
And, right, and I think that's it. We're wrapping this one up. This is episode 1. It's going out, ideally, as New Year's Day dawns, so this is our message of hope for 2017, that we'll get some shit sorted and feel a bit more together and start being a bit more... active and doing stuff. I know everybody's had their own projects and everybody's got a life to go together, but I'm kind of committed now to get out a show every week.
Hell yeah.
And just a link, there's a link in the running order to an Instructables on how to make a hobo stove from an IKEA cutlery holder, and I've seen those used and they're awesome, so that's why I picked the Instructables thing. And going out, we're going to have The Revolution Will Not Be Televised by someone else doing an update to it. And well, thank you very much for listening. So the show's going to probably wrap up at around an hour and a half, and we're just going to do that. Take care.
Bye, folks.
Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the revolution will not be digitized. You will not be able to opt out or log out to cop out. You will not be able to log in remotely from the convenience of an armchair. It will not be on Google Maps or Tumblr, and will not maintain a microblog. The revolution will not be digitized. Clicking a button is not a social conscious action. You will not be asked to sign an online petition. There is no dislike button. The revolution will not be digitized. There will be no antivirus software to protect you from viruses and malware without you having to lift a finger. Blowing on the game cartridge will not make it work better. The revolution will not be digitized. It will not be anonymous. You will not wake up one day to equality and fairness. It will not be broadcast to your astral beyond. You will not be able to pause, rewind, or record. You will not be able to choose an alternate ending should you dislike the outcome. The revolution will not be digitized. You will not need special glasses to see it in 3D. It will not be covered by the BEP. There will not be a dubstep remix. The revolution cannot be blocked by your ISP. It will not have convenient save points. It will not be powered by the Energizer Bunny. It will not come shrink-wrapped, bubble-wrapped, or safety-capped. The revolution will not be digitized. It will not come with 3G, 4G, or the BGs. You cannot turn off the power. There is no silver tweet, my brother. You will not liberate a state before breakfast. You do not get a discount for using your credit card, or if you buy online now. It is not console independent and is not FCC compliant. The revolution will not be digitized. It will not spread via viral video. It will not have pictures of kittens playing the piano. It will not be uploaded to a file share network. There will not be an online poll. But should you be unhappy with services provided, the revolution will change service providers. The revolution will not be digitized. The revolution will not be digitized. Brothers and sisters, the revolution will not be online. The revolution will be live. Rest in peace, Gil Scott-Heron, a legend and an inspiration. Salam.
Meanwhile, the population exploded and intelligence continued to decline until humanity was incapable of solving even its most basic problems, like garbage, which had been stacked for centuries with no plan whatsoever, leading to the great garbage avalanche of 2505. Which would set in motion the events that would change the world forever.